Someone is going to advance my slides for me, I assume. So is that taken care of? Honorable mayors, ministers, distinguished elected officials, colleagues. In the political process for the World Water Forums, as we've said, there's a ministerial process where they come up with a declaration. The parliamentarians and congressmen meet to discuss and debate national laws. And the forum seeks to build political commitments on these levels. But those of us who represent local authorities understand the important role of political leadership of local mayors and governors of regions and council members, and how essential this is for sustainable water management. So this began to be, yes, this, I see what I have. Let's see what we can. This began to be incorporated. In the fourth forum, there was a meeting of local authorities. In the fifth forum, a special two-day meeting of local authorities, which included 250 representatives, including 59 mayors from 43 countries. How many of you were at the fifth forum at that process? I know some of you here were, maybe not too many. Okay. I want to just make special mention of a new high-level water prize that was presented at the fifth forum. It was an outcome of the fourth forum. Mexico City, the Compromiso Water Prize that Mexico initiated was actually won. The second place winner, city of Lyon, I think is represented. And some of you may want to submit a candidature to that prize. It's a prize that recognizes innovative local public policies for water supply and sanitation. So it was the first prize that recognizes local initiatives. A primary output of the fifth forum local authorities process was the Istanbul Water Consensus. In drafting the consensus, I looked at the vague and lofty ministerial declarations that had been featured at the forums, and I sought to create a practical, on-the-ground counterweight. I joke that what the ministerial declaration is that water is life, and they declare water is life, water is life. Well, at local authority level, we know that much more practical commitments need to be made. The census that we created calls for real action from city and regional leaders with direct responsibility for local citizens. Champion cities, as we'll hear today, drive the implementation of the consensus. The consensus is more than merely a declaration. It's a commitment which can be tailored to each city. It triggers action on local water and sanitation in the face of global changes, which can include rapid urbanization, climate change, pollution, or whatever your local concern is. Mayor Topbaş of Istanbul agreed with the thrust of this declaration and launched the process on World Water Day in 2008. And what has been achieved in the 3 years? Well, today there are 718 signatory cities from 47 countries covering 166 million people. The most dramatic implementation, as you can see from this chart, is in Latin America. And Rosa Mancini from Sao Paulo will tell you her story in a moment, how she has used the, what they call it, the Sao Paulo Pact, the urban water consensus tailored to that region, to help improve water sanitation, reforestation, and environmental sustainability in her area. The target, as you've heard, is to have 1,000 signatories by next March in Marseille. Local authorities face very different situations in different parts of the world. In the United States, my city, Seattle, cities typically own and manage their water and sewer services and collect tariffs to cover the full cost, so they're quite independent. Other countries may have a national water system They may rely on local contracts with private water companies. We have different challenges as well as different political and institutional structures. The challenge for my home city is seasonal rainfall with a very dry summer and endangered fish species in the river. It may be that your city faces explosive growth and too much unplanned settlement on the riverbeds, riverbanks. Or there may be water pollution from agricultural runoff or untreated urban wastes. The city of Brisbane, I believe, is represented here. They had years of drought and then disastrous floods. So every city has different challenges. How do you write a declaration that people with all kinds of different challenges can, in fact, participate in? So the Istanbul Consensus allows each city to tailor its commitments to its unique water challenges and priorities within the scope of its own authority. Each signatory city pledges to assess its system and its challenges, to engage citizens and stakeholders, to select priority for action, to set targets, and then implement the priority measures and report back to the sixth forum. And in order to make this even more concrete, water champion cities have volunteered, have stepped forward to promote the Istanbul Water Consensus and provide leadership in its implementation. Just looking at the facilitating the dialogue among other local authorities, I just think it's amazing what's happened. Brisbane, as I said, is one of the champion cities. It's hosting the Asian Water Forum this year. Incheon organizes an annual World City Water Forum. Rotterdam has positioned itself as the spokesperson and technical leader around the issue of delta cities adapting to climate change. Zaragoza built its Expo 2008 around a water theme. So these cities have provided real leadership in addressing the challenges of water on a local and regional level. When I have a longer time to speak, I tell great stories from each one of the champion cities. But today you will hear from them directly, many of them, beginning at this session with the experience of Grand Lyon from Jean-Paul Collin and Vice President of Grand Lyon, and also from Rosa Mancini from Sao Paulo. It's time for solutions. Our champion cities and regions have solutions to share with us and will help shape our discussion and sharpen our message in the day and a half we spend together. I'm eager to listen to them and to listen to all of you as we prepare to meet the water challenges ahead. Thank you so much for coming.